Hi, Josh.
Hi, Amanda. What are we talking about today?
I thought we would continue our series in talking about what various legal words that we throw around pretty frequently mean to lay people. And the word of the day is jurisdiction. So someone may have a lawsuit, they might go to their lawyer and they say, well, we're not sure what jurisdiction we're going to file in. And that lawyer expects the client to know exactly what he or she is talking about. Maybe they don't. Can you help?
I can, Amanda, but this is not a simple explanation because jurisdiction actually has multiple different meanings in the law. So, in one sense, it means a territory of power, like the jurisdiction of Connecticut or the jurisdiction of the Southern District of New York. That kind of jurisdiction is sometimes used synonymously with the words forum or venue. Each of those are slightly different. But for basics, say jurisdiction could be the place where you file. Then there's the concept in the law of jurisdiction as a source of power for the court. And actually, that splits into two different ideas: personal jurisdiction and subject matter jurisdiction. Subject matter jurisdiction is the idea that not every court can hear every kind of dispute. If you want to get into Superior Court in Connecticut, for example, you need to have a dispute that's worth at least $15,000. State courts, in general, are courts of general jurisdiction, which means they hear most every kind of dispute, except for very low level ones. Federal courts are courts of what's called limited subject matter jurisdiction. And that means in order to get into a federal court, you either have to have federal question jurisdiction, that is a case that raises a question under federal law, or you need to have diversity jurisdiction, which means there's a suit or a dispute between parties from two or more different states, and the dispute is worth a certain amount of money. Those cases, there is diversity, and those can get into federal court. But can you go to a federal court that's anywhere in the country? No, you have to go to the right federal court, and that's a question of what's called personal jurisdiction. Personal jurisdiction means that in order for you to be sued in a court, you have to have some relationship with that court in order for the court to have power over you. If you work in Connecticut and you live in Connecticut and you've always lived and worked in Connecticut and you've never had any dealings with the state of California, you've never been there, you've never worked in California, you've never signed a contract that has anything to do with California, and you get sued in the state of California, you are going to file a motion to dismiss that lawsuit on the basis of a lack of personal jurisdiction because you do not have any connection with California that would allow that jurisdiction, that court, to have any power over you. So you can see three different definitions: where you would be, what kind of court it is, what kind of relationship you have with that court. And so if your lawyer is using the term jurisdiction, it probably makes sense to ask them, which jurisdiction do you mean? And then they will be so impressed at what a wonderful client you are.
Thank you so much, Josh. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time with some more tricky legal words. Thanks.